Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube page. And if you're new here, welcome as well. Please like, comment, and subscribe at the end of this video if you so wish to do so. All right, let's go ahead and get into what we're here to talk about. Today, ladies, we're here to talk about goal setting, how to set a goal and accomplish it, whether it be big or small or major or minor. I want to just give you basic goal setting tips. Now, there are 3 tips I have for setting the goal and actually accomplishing the goal. The first tip is to write down the goal you have. The next tip is to write down your obstacles surrounding the goal or things that you foresee as an issue when it comes to actually accomplishing the goal. And the third thing is when you have those moments of obstacles, what is going to be your mantra to get yourself out of that headspace where you want to give up or you don't really want to keep persevering on the goal, or the goal is tough or challenging and you're having a hard time getting through. So first thing is writing the goal down. How I write my goals down is I normally keep a journal, or I try to keep like a notepad handy. So if I have ideas throughout the day or things that cross my mind or things I think about that I want to accomplish, I'll just jot it down in my little trusty notepad. I have these little things all around the house. I'm just at any time writing my goals down to get it in plain and in sight, right? And when you write the goal down, the first thing you need to do is be very precise about the goal, and also make sure this is a goal that is reasonable for you and where you're at in life, and it's something that you reasonably can see yourself actually accomplishing, and that way you're not biting off too much than you can chew. And what I mean by that is, if your big goal is to graduate college, no one graduates college overnight, right? So what I suggest for that is, if your goal is to get a 4-year degree, you're going to have to get through every semester, right? So you write down, you sign up for your classes, you got your schedule, it's fall 2020 coming up, you're taking 4 classes, and they're really tough classes, okay? So let's say, for instance, you're taking speech, math, English, and an elective in your major, right? Well, let's say that English is your weaker subject and math is your stronger subject. So you know that English is going to be a subject you have to put a little bit more time in and a little bit more effort in, versus math where you can pretty much ace the test without as much work, right? So automatically, that is identifying your strengths, your weaknesses going into the goal, and compartmentalizing it into a smaller goal, which is getting through this semester, which is going to be towards the bigger goal, which is graduating from college. Some of you may know, or some of you may not know, I'm a licensed attorney in the state of Florida. And that didn't just come overnight. That took over a decade post high school to get. But what I did was I wrote down my goal that I had to become a lawyer. This was back when I was 12 years old. This is how long it's been since I wanted to be a lawyer, right? But I knew I had to get through so many stages in my life to become that, right? So when I started college, my goal was to just get through the semester, and I write down the GPA I wanted to get and what were my obstacles that semester. Was it going to be financial aid, having enough money to pay for my education? Was it going to be this one class with this one professor that I know is hard? Is it going to be this one class that I just know that I don't do that well in, or like, because my weakness is math and I'm great at English. So I knew that math was going to take a lot of time and effort to get through. So I would make sure that my math class, I allotted more time towards that versus my English where I can probably get away with a few hours less than I would with my math class. So, but the ultimate goal was to get through each semester to accomplish the big goal, which is ultimately graduating, right? So, first thing I want you to do is write down your goal, and in your big goal, if it's a big goal like graduating college, try to compartmentalize it into a smaller goal, right? A smaller goal here that is more manageable, right? And the more manageable it is, the better for you. So if that, like I said, for example, if that goal is to graduate college, just do a semester at a time. What is your goal for each semester? Next thing I want you to do is when every goal you're trying to accomplish, you have obstacles in your way to accomplish that goal. That is just life, right? No one, at least people that I've talked to and myself, have not had a straight path to the success or the goal they're trying to accomplish, right? So when you write down your goal, write down the obstacles surrounding your goal. All right, so my very first semester off to college when I went to Florida State, I had a lot of obstacles. One, I didn't have a driver's license at the time. I didn't have a car. I had limited financial aid to get through school, and I was away from home for the very first time. I was extremely homesick. I had zero idea on how to actually like legit pay bills on my own because I was like 20 years old, and up until that point my parents handled all the big stuff and things like that. All I had to care about was my own phone bills. So now I got bills for real, like rent, electricity. I gotta feed myself, and I'm going to school. So what I did was I just asked the Lord for wisdom on how to get through each obstacle. So the first obstacle was a car. I didn't have one. So I found out that there's a bus system. So I got my apartment close to the FSU bus system to take me where I needed to go. And I had the city bus to go to where I needed to go for my grocery shopping and everything like that. Obstacle 1, check off my list. Obstacle 2, homesickness. I would make sure I would come home every break I got to be home with my family. So obstacle number 2. Obstacle number 3, financial aid, living on limited means. I had to learn how to budget. I had to learn how to basically live within my means. So I would pay my rent first, then I would factor in for food, and then I would also factor in like other little bills like my cell phone bill, things like that, right? And then my next obstacle is just classes, the classes themselves. So I would look at my schedule, and I would make sure I would schedule classes that I know are not too challenging and all in one semester. So I would take one hard class and a bunch of maybe 1-2 hard classes, mix it in with easier classes, so my brain is not all like discombobulated at the end of the semester and I'm overwhelmed. And my goal was to get through each semester. So I wrote down a goal of I want to get through the semester with this GPA. Now, ladies, here's what I'm going to caution you. When you have a goal and it does not go as planned, and you might not accomplish exactly what you wanted to accomplish, you need to take that as an opportunity to examine what happened, give yourself credit for what went right, and then learn from those mistakes or pitfalls. Don't take that as an opportunity to give up on the goal or say the hell with this or the heck with this. No, this is the time that I would say you dig in and say, this is my goal. This is what I really, really want to accomplish. This is where I feel like I really want in my life. And I'm not going to give up, because there's going to be times where the goal is something you really want, but the obstacles and the sacrifice involved in accomplishing that goal seems a little much, right? It seems like a little bit more than what you thought you can take on, or you bit off too much than you can chew, right? So in that moment, this is when I say number 3 comes in. What is your mantra? The mantra I used to use all the time was, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I would say that every single freaking day. And it was hard. I would pray, ask the Lord for help, ask the Lord for wisdom, ask the Lord for insight, and I would press into Him, especially in my weak moments, especially since it wasn't easy all the time as a young black person trying to make it in this world, and I don't have as much affluence, or I don't come from an affluent family. I come from an everyday family, so I didn't have the advantages that my counterparts did, right? But that's okay. The Lord has the biggest, following the Lord, I have the biggest advantage, right? So I will always ask the Lord for wisdom, insight, knowledge, and understanding to get through it. And I will always say, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So no matter what, the Lord is going to come and strengthen me, make me stronger, get through these tough times, and I'm going to accomplish my goal. And that's what I would say to myself. So let's recap, guys. First thing, write down your goal. Number 1. Number 2, write down the obstacles associated with the goal. And when you write down those obstacles, write down the solutions related to those obstacles that you're going to overcome. Don't just write down the obstacles and don't have a plan. Check off solutions to those obstacles. When something comes up unexpected, already have a mindset of, I'm going to overcome this, and this is not going to stop me. The Lord's will wants me to have this, and I know this is something He set in my heart to do, and He's going to help me, and I'm going to overcome these tough times. And lastly, have your personal mantra. Mine is, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. You can find another mantra that works for you. That's perfectly fine, okay? But at all times, accomplish your goals, go after your dreams, and don't ever let anyone tell you no or you can't do something, because you can, and I believe in you, sis. Have a blessed day. Bye. Love you, y'all.